Alright, it's Jared with today's trade recap. Today I touched the fire and got burned. I slept terrible last night. I kind of came into today with shaky confidence for some reason. I just had this weird feeling today, and it definitely came true. Now, my watch list today, so I took two trades, both losers by the way. My watch list today was NIO, Workhorse, PLTR, and CCL, these right here. So I'm going to move this over. And I think what really got my psychology started off bad was in pre-market I had made a plan that if PLTR, because it kind of popped up to, it was a little above 27, and then right at the open it was started at 27.15. It started coming up a bit and it pulled back, and I told myself if I can get in at $27, I'm going to take it long. And I don't normally trade in the first 5 minutes, but the setup was just so nice. Well, it pulled back. It did exactly what I wanted. It pulled back to $27 right here. And I just was too hesitant, and before you knew it, it took off without me. And then I watched it just jump, almost a full dollar, in like 20 seconds. And I was just so disappointed in myself for letting this opportunity go. And I think it just put me in a weird psychological place where I felt I got FOMO from a trade I didn't take. And I think it kind of made me rush into NIO. So when I go over to NIO here, this is my first trade. NIO burned me really bad on this one. And it's actually a setup I really like. It's a nice bearish boot pattern here where it presses up to a level, hits it, reverses on really good volume, goes weak. The pattern's supposed to look like this, kind of more like a boot. But it didn't really happen for me today. So it pressed up, it looks good, volume really starts coming in on the downside, hits this level, pulls back on much lower relative volume. So really this is a perfect setup to take it short right here for the move down. I do this all the time, but why this is a bad trade is because for some reason I let it get on top of these moving averages before I took it long. And once it gets on top, sometimes the resistance becomes support, and it's a good setup for a long. But I took it short above those moving averages, and it just wasn't a smart decision. Also, when you look, there's just this is just a big indecision candle on the 5 minute. So on the 1 minute it's telling one story, but on the 5 minute it's telling a different story. And I really this is a bad trade to try and go short above all that support. But the pattern on the 1 minute fooled me, and the volume on the 1 minute fooled me. But that is this is kind of common for NIO to sell off in the one, to have no volume in the first minute, and then to sell off and then to be strong. So I should have just been more careful, but this trade burned me really bad. My last trade of the day was on CCL. This is a much smaller loss, but I was already so close to max loss that this did push me over the edge. Again, I was trying to short everything too early. Now it does look like things are going to sell off today, especially when you look at SPY right here. So I think I was right about the overall sentiment, but day trading is not about being right overall. It's about being right, getting an entry within the range of possibilities where you have the staying power to see if the pattern you saw was correct and it goes in your direction or it doesn't. It's not about over the course of the whole day. I wasn't right with my decisions in the timeline that mattered, which is how long I could stay in a trade. So I tried to take this short too, kind of similar thing. What I was seeing is all the volume was coming in on the moves down, much less volume on the moves up, and we were very wicky. We were pushing off. I took it short here around the 2250 level. Again, not smart by me, because while I did have the 200 above me around 2250 that I thought was going to hold, I'm still above so many moving averages that I'm trying to go short into. And again, that's just not normally what I do, but I had bad psychology, bad sleep, and it got the best of me today. I hate having bad Fridays because then I go into the weekend and all I can think about is my bad Friday rather than the rest of the week when I traded really well. But today that's unfortunately what's going to happen, and it's taken everything in me to have discipline and to resist trying to trade my way out of this hole, because it's very tempting, but I'm going to refrain and wait until Monday.